We are joined here today in our ongoing MGA interview series with PGA Tour veteran Charles Howell. Charles, you are a longtime Lexus brand ambassador, and Lexus has been a great partner of the MGA for a number of years. So we're really happy that all of us as a part of the Lexus family can connect today. So thank you for joining us today. And how are you and your family doing at home?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. This obviously crazy times here. We were playing the Players Championship. March 11th, I think, was the Thursday, and during the course of the first round, we got the message we're going to play the rest of the week without fans and probably go on. And then next thing I know, Thursday night at 10 o'clock, we're canceled, and it's been a whirlwind since then. But yeah, especially everyone up in New York, our obviously thoughts and prayers are in that area, but things are fine. And, fortunately in Florida where I live, the golf has stayed open. And so I'm a little bit of a part-time homeschool dad, part-time golfer and all this kind of stuff. But I think I speak for everyone when I say we're eager to get back to normalcy.
And part of that will be returning to competitive golf, which we're all looking forward to as well. But glad everyone's doing well. And speaking of competitive golf, you have had a long tenure on tour so far, and you've played in events all over the world. But when it comes to playing in events that have been held in the New York area, which is the MGA's territory, what are some of the memorable tournaments and memorable events up there that stand out to you?
Well, my first event there as a professional, and I'm dating myself here, was back at Westchester Country Club for the Buick Open. And that was sort of my first professional golf experience in the New York area. Played, two majors now at Shinnecock, which is just phenomenal. Played at Bethpage Black as well, a couple majors there. And then on to Liberty National. So competitively, been extremely fortunate to play throughout New York. There's no fan base like New York, that's for sure, in all sports, but especially golf, and we truly appreciate that. Non-golf, I absolutely love the golf in New York. So go out to Friars Head, Sabonic, National, everything out on Long Island. It's some of the best golf in the world, I think.
It's great when these major events and PGA Tour events come into town. We get to show them off what we know, show them off on the national stage. But how often do you get up here, and any other things you like to do in the area besides golf?
Well, my wife and daughter love to shop in New York, so I can promise you they're eager to get back. Our daughter's birthday is the end of May, and they had a little trip planned up there, which obviously will get postponed a bit. But our favorite hotel is the Plaza, which I don't know how you get better. I don't know New York near as well as my wife does, but for location and all that, it seems to be less walking. Then favorite Italian restaurants, Il Mulino. Always have to go to that when I get there. But New York it's so much fun because it's fun for everybody, where, I can go up there and I can play golf and do my thing, then wife and kids can do their thing. And it offers something for everybody, and such an important part for our country, et cetera, that, I'll always have a trip to New York.
Speaking of golf courses up here, are there any courses that you have not played that are on your list to play?
Oh, good question. I've been really lucky. I would say, I'll answer it another way. I'd say I want to play national and Sabonic and Friars Head even more. So, the piece of land is incredible. Friars is awesome. And I don't know how you get better golf than that. I live in Florida where all the golf courses are flat and palm trees and water, and you get golf up in the Northeast, in New York especially. It's what golf's meant to be.
We love all of the same courses as well. So
yes, good.
Back to the tour and your career. I think it's fair to say you have been one of the most consistent players on tour. 20 consecutive successful years, 80 top 10 finishes, a really impressive tenure, again, with more to come. What are really some of your keys to consistency year in and year out?
I still love the game of golf, which is, that may sound a bit weird, but I still enjoy doing it. the travel at times can get a bit taxing and a bit old, but the golf and the game itself, we're so spoiled on the PGA Tour where these venues and courses look forward to us all year, and they're set up phenomenal. They do all they can do to make it as easy and as good as possible for us as an experience. So, I mean, I think a lot of it's just because I enjoy it and I actually, truly have fun doing it. Now, that doesn't mean all the days are going to be good, or all the, months and whatever are going to be good, but I do enjoy it. I would say, consistent work, over time, as opposed to necessarily hard work. Any time you have something in life you don't really enjoy doing, it becomes hard work. It's not really fulfilling, or you're going to get the best out of it. So it's just been consistent work. I've found ways to keep it fun and make it fun. And then now my 8-year-old son is addicted to golf, so he's definitely keeping me motivated.
That's great. Well, he has a great teacher right at home. So going back a little bit, now you live in Florida, but you actually grew up in Augusta, Georgia. So
Yeah.
What was it like living right near Augusta National and witnessing every year the excitement of the Masters coming into town?
I didn't know how good I had it, to be honest, when Augusta National is a couple miles from the house, I don't think any kid realizes what it is. Growing up, I thought it's just another golf tournament here with a bunch of people come to. Now I truly realize the scope and the scale of it, but it's a large part of the reason that I play golf. It not only started me in the game, but it kept me motivated, where every April this big golf tournament comes around, and if we had lost a little bit of motivation as kids in the area, that restarted that. So it was a huge part of what I do today.
What was it like when you played in your first Masters, going through the gates as a player back in your hometown?
The most nervous I've ever been. And hopefully I won't ever be that nervous again, because it wasn't a lot of fun. But I think it was more I wanted to play it so many years, and it had become bigger than life. And to finally get there and do it, it was great. Fortunately, I made the cut the first year, so I got 4 days out of it. But it was an incredible experience. I'll never forget it. I mean, it's those moments, not necessarily the great things that happen, but when you have situations like that, you remember that. It's the first tee shot there, I won't forget.
As a native to Augusta, what can we expect in November when the Masters will be played?
We won't see the azaleas popped out and all the flowers, et cetera, that we've come to love about Augusta. The golf course could play quite a bit softer, quite a bit longer, but at the same time, the Masters is still the Masters, and it still, is a great field on a great venue. The greens themselves will be fine. They can control that. But personally, I think it'll play a little bit more difficult. I think it'll play longer. But we'll see. Maybe we get lucky and we get a nice week of warm weather. But it can be a little chilly there that time of year too.
Yeah, it'll certainly be different, but I think it'll be everyone will still have the same excitement, and maybe even a little bit more this year.
Exactly.
So again, speaking of all of your golf experiences, been all over the world, played on President's Cup, 3-time winner. What are really some of the most memorable moments from your career?
Yeah, I'd say overall, early in my career, developing a friendship with Tiger. I moved to Orlando, Florida because of him. I figured that if I want to play this game professionally, I might as well go be around the best to ever do it. And, our friendship early in my career, which fed through us playing together in President's Cups, that meant a lot to me, especially early on. And he's helped and shared things that I still remember today. So that's a big one. And I think otherwise it's traveling around the world. I mean, I never would have imagined as a, skinny little kid from Augusta that I would play professional golf and it would take me, all the places it has and meet the people I have. And I don't think I quite understood the scope of golf and how many people around the world in all walks of life love it, from, CEOs to other sports figures to political figures, et cetera. Everybody has a common bond in the love of golf. And I think that to me, the more I play and the older I get, the more I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think for every golfer or golf fan, they can relate to that, that it's certainly a unique part of the game that sort of brings everybody together in a way. So, um,
Yes.
yeah. So, been all over the world. What's the number one place you've been? Different country, different area, different golf course?
Well, outside the world, outside the U.S., I love playing golf in Japan. The greens are phenomenal. All the courses are pretty tight tree line because they don't have like this space we do, but the fans are incredible. We played the Zozo Championship there last year, and it was kind of a rainy, nasty day, and there must have been 70,000 people out there, and it was just incredible. We always start the year off in Hawaii, which is a great place. It's like playing golf in paradise, so to speak. But every place is a little bit different. Where my favorite golf in the U.S. is in the New York area. There's no question about it. But California with Riviera, and then you go up and you've got Pebble Beach and Olympic Club, and I mean and like I said, it's so lucky doing what I do. It's seen them all.
You are a longtime Lexus brand ambassador, which is how we connected today. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience working with Lexus throughout the years?
So when I turned pro in 2000, the first car I bought was a Lexus. Man, I'm dating myself here. And so our relationship started in 2007. So now I've been there 13-ish years. It's something I'm proud of because of the brand that they are and the company that they are. They've been absolutely wonderful to deal with. We do all kinds of different things together. The U.S. Open is a very big deal. There'll be a few speaking engagements and meet and greets, et cetera. But, Lexus support of golf and junior golf and all the things they do is truly remarkable. And I think people don't quite realize when you have a massive company like that with such a well-known brand, what they do for the game. But they've been a wonderful partner of me and to the game of golf, even the professional ranks. So I'm extremely proud of it, and hopefully be there for many more years.
A great team, a great brand. We're lucky to partner with them on a number of different events and initiatives. So again, glad they could bring us together today.
Yes.
So speaking of the U.S. Open, which you just mentioned, and looking ahead a little bit, something else we've had on the calendar for us at the MGA for a long time is the U.S. Open returning to Wingfoot. Wingfoot is pretty much right down the road from our home base, our office in Westchester. So you played there in 2006, last time the U.S. Open was there. What has your experience been like at Wingfoot, and what are you looking forward to about the fall there?
We played Wingfoot in 06, and it was the first year that the USGA messed around with the graduated rough. And I remember thinking, if they didn't do this, we couldn't finish this golf course. So Wingfoot can be as hard as they want it to be. However, the beauty of it, it's right in front of you, and there's nothing fancy. There's no tricks to it. It's just really good, hard golf. And yeah, like I said, they can make it as hard as they want. Playing in September, the weather should be ideal. Obviously, knock on wood, hopefully we'll have fans out there, and a lot of them. And by then, hopefully we're starting to return to normal because, the fan experience is a really big deal to golf and a big deal to us. And so hopefully we'll all find ourselves in a position where we can play it and play it, with normal fan conditions, et cetera, because the New York area, the New York fan with a golf course like that, it all kind of goes together, and it's great for the game.
Really second to none. So we're certainly looking forward to it. So speaking of competitive golf, any predictions for the upcoming match at Seminole between some of those guys on tour?
I read, and I don't know if that's correct or not, they have to carry their own bag.
I read that as well.
Yes. So with that, I think you kind of have to favor Rory and Dustin. Obviously Rory can carry a tree around. That guy's so strong. But it's going to be fun to watch. I think it's great to see golf start to come back. And it's equally important that we don't rush back. And there's far more important things going on right now than just golf. But to have a semblance of sports to return and some normalcy to return, I think it's good. And the fact is it's Seminole on television. I mean, Seminole's going to show incredible on TV. Great kudos to them and their membership for doing that. And but it's because Seminole's a special place as well. You get 4 guys like that together. It'll be great to watch.
So you're at home right now. We all are. Golf has been such a big part of your life for most of your life. What are any other hobbies outside of golf?
Well, sadly, most of our hobbies involve traveling and going outside and doing things. So, but we've been part-time homeschool teacher, which now my wife's done the majority of that, but I've had to chip in when things were getting a little bit tense. We've actually caught up on a lot of documentaries, watching different things. As most parents out there, we're thankful for Disney Plus at the moment. But the weather in Florida has been great. We've still been able to get outside and do some things like that. So whether it's bike riding with the family or whatever, and it's been a bit odd and different with obviously clubhouses closed and staying 6 feet or so apart and whatnot. But anything outside, especially with 2 kids in the house, and run their energy down is good.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for joining us here today. We're certainly all looking forward to watching you back on the golf course, and we're glad we could catch up a little bit.
Well, listen, thanks for having me. And as I said, I hopefully will return somewhat to normal, and we'll get to see everybody in September at Wingfoot, and life has moved on.
We're definitely looking forward to it. So we'll see you there, and thank you again.
But thanks so much. Y'all have a wonderful day.